Hello class. In this video I'm going to show you some time working with an image and rescaling it and getting things in to the right size and do various things and working with the frame box because this usually gets people who, like many architects, are more familiar with Illustrator than InDesign. So if I select an image, we see we got a blue box around it, whatever color your layer is, as to be expected. If I want to make this image bigger, maybe I want it to go across 2 pages. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. I'm going to come to the corner and I'd hold Shift to scale proportionally, and I'll let go, and we see that my image size doesn't change because in InDesign what we have is a frame box, which is the one we primarily get, and then if I double click we can see a brown box, and that's the actual object itself, and they're separate from each other. The reason for that is it makes cropping pretty easily. So if I click back out, I can go to this blue box and I can just crop up this image without really changing my image, if that's sort of how I wanted my image to be. And I can come in and double click in and get this brown box with the little hand, and then now I can move my image around the crop box, so I can change that what I'm seeing in the frame pretty easily. Now if I want to change the scale of this image, I will go to the corner and hold Shift to do it proportionally, and I can scale the image just like this, right? So that's the basics of it, but there's different ways. There's some tools that InDesign gives you to help facilitate some of this stuff that I want to review now. And one of those is this thing is actually a toggle. This little icon here is a toggle between the blue box, which is my frame, and the brown box, which is my image. So sometimes it's difficult. You're double clicking here or there and you're not quite selecting what you want to do. So sometimes I come here and here to select it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to undo a couple steps just really quickly to go back to this image the way I had it at the start of this video. Because one of the nice things to do that I use a lot is I use auto fit. Now auto fit toolbar is going to be here. It can actually be also up under object fitting, because this is all going to be fitting stuff. It can be in here as well, but I think because of the way my screen is set for projectors and for recording and stuff, I actually don't see everything over here. So temporarily I'm just going to click over here and pull this off, and we'll see that I get these extra commands hanging over here, and I actually have some going on to my second monitor as well, which you guys can't see, but I've got the ones I want to talk about now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my image selected. I'm going to hit this auto fit button, because now I'm going to select, we can see I have the blue box, so I'm in my frame, and if I click and hold Shift to do proportionally, I will also get my image to expand as well. So that auto fit locks the image to the frame itself. Nice and convenient if you want to show your whole image. If I undo auto fit, for example, and I say I want to crop out that much, maybe I don't want to see those pipes, and I recheck auto fit, it will also sort of keep those images set proportionally. As long as I hold Shift, I will really get a good image. Now if I just do, say, a vertical stretch, it's going to now stretch my image proportionally in some sort of awkward format. If my intent was to get those pipes back, I have to uncheck auto fit, and I can pull down to get those boxes set. A couple of the other ones that I'll use a lot from this category is this one over here is fit frame to content. So right now I've cut out those, if I've cut out those pipes that we see down there, if I hit this button, it'll automatically jump down to the size of my image, and that would work on all 4 sizes. So now my frame and my original image are meeting the size. Now let's say I forgot to hit auto fit and I want to stretch this, and I come over to this column, let's say over here, and I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot to hit auto fit, but I just want this image to come proportionally to it. I will select this first one in this section, which is fill frame proportionally, and it will then take my image will take the size of my frame. So that was the reverse of the previous one I showed you. So those two are nice ones too to use as well. So you just sort of have to get used to the fact that you have a frame and you have an object, and a lot of times I'll use auto fit, not always, and if I don't, I will use some of these buttons up here to scale things the way I want to. I think the most important thing, it will come with time, it'll come with practice. A lot of people are frustrated with that at first, but just make sure every time you put an image you are scaling it proportionally, that you aren't changing an awkward size. Although if you do, it's pretty easy to fix too. So if I come in here and just accidentally squish my image like that, we actually see over here are the sizing of the elements, and we can see that I have my right to left is bigger than my top to bottom. That's a smaller number down here. And so I could copy and paste this number. I copy it there, Control V to paste it in here and hit enter, and now I've made it. So that is a nice feature that we don't see in Illustrator. In Illustrator, if you get something squished, it sometimes is more difficult to get it back to size. In InDesign, I can easily at any point rescale it proportionally to any number I want. So using these tools here, especially AutoFit, you'll get used to that frame, you'll get used to that object, and you'll go and put in all your images and organize them as needed. Alright, good luck making your portfolio. When I come back for the next video, I'm going to show you sort of a completed portfolio and how to export it, because we've gone over text, we've gone over all of this stuff, so you should be good to go to create this thing. Good luck.